Oh, okay, people, there we are. 7 seconds into it. It's not loading right because I've got only one bar, and I need really 3. So I'm not actually online. You look over here. See here? Same old with my connection issues. Connectivity issues. Well, I'm not online. So I am kind of keeping an eye on the bars. Too, it says I've got 4G. You know? But only one bar. And I wiggled it this way and wiggled it that way and disconnected and reconnected, and it's just one of those things that's got me blue in the face right now. So thought I'd come on here anyway. I already have the new title for this next screencast. You're gonna love it. Too much drive, not enough clutch. How about that? Because back in the 70s there was this guy. Oh, there I have 2 bars. One I kind of hung around with. I was kind of the fringe edge of his main crowd, with a couple other people that knew him, and they were a little more close than I was, but still, anyway, it kind of hooked up that way. Well, that's okay. But he would say, You ain't got no clutch. That's got no clutch. They don't have clutch. Clutch meaning cool. So, this is about all drive and no clutch. Because, just like my husband's daughter, what other can you call it besides drive? After she gets taken out of the county to get an exam, after saying at school to these younger girls, because she was like 2 years older, 2-ish years older than the people in her grade because of homeschool from Iowa at the commune. So there, she came in, she said, well, we were talking girlfriend and boyfriend today at school, and I really didn't have one to talk about. So I said dad, and they went and told the counselor, and the counselor called blah, 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 family services, or juvenile, or whoever it was she called. And they came and got me, and they took me to get an exam. Well, I found out later they had taken her clear out of the county. I don't know why. Maybe the person they took her to is on their payroll. They're in cahoots. They're cohorts. They're, in coercion. Then brought her back, and where I started to tell you what else is it but drive, right back into that house after the report. As if driven, propelled back into the place she had just said a crime happened to her. To me, it's all fake, because I know what it's based on. It's based on her not owning up to who and what she really was at age 13. When they were saying they had boyfriends at age 11, whether they did or not is beside the point. She wouldn't own up to not having one. So to fill their little minds with wonder, she said, oh, well, I do. My dad. Hello? I don't know how anybody could do that to someone. For one thing. Except they are so spiteful. Pardon me. And hateful. But that's what they decided they should do. After being on visitation at the commune, whether it was a weekend visit or a 6-week summer thing, writing to us from there in her own handwriting. I love you, Dad. I love you and Veronica, whatever it said, and miss you. I'm learning Spanish because for some reason or another, somebody got her a Spanish book so her mom could teach out of it for homeschool, I guess. And it seems awful odd when you're that far away, 5 hours by vehicle, a good safe distance away, not in immediate harm's way, not at risk, not like standing right next to a person and saying something like she said and they be close enough to haul off and pop her in the mouth, 5 hours away. Oh, I love you guys, I miss you. Not what I would have put if it had been me. I've never been so glad to be away from any place in all my entire life as I am right now, away from you guys. Is what it should have sounded like if it goes along with our whole story. Not, I just love you so much. I can't hardly wait to get back home, so these 2 to 3 times days already continue. Her story doesn't mesh. If the people had gotten a hold of this story like they should have to begin with and been able to, with facts, run it through their thinking, they would have said no way. No freaking way. But as it was, they kept it all close and on the QT, which is another part of my outrage. Ran this whole thing through without hardly any public opinion at all. There was nobody jumping up and down for John Myers, the honorably discharged veteran, on his behalf. It's got me so disjointed you wouldn't probably even believe the madness of it. I ended up getting my driver's license so that I could visit John while he awaited whatever was going to become of it. Because I didn't have it for a number of years, because after we moved to the downtown house, I didn't really have a use for it. After we moved and I got the notification in the mail, and I put it up on the shelf, and it was one of those built-in shelves that they put between a couple of doors in that house to make it a duplex in one house. And I laid it up there and forgot about it. So I went, well, it's no big deal. I won't need it. Everywhere I went, John take me or my mom. And I didn't have a lot of use. I had, except for an ID, which I didn't even need. So I didn't get my driver's license that time till I needed it in '95. So it was a mad dash to get it, so I could drive out of the county, 2 counties, to where he had been placed. And I actually was shopping at Whiteman Air Force Base that day, which I did regularly, little road trip, 20 miles there, get the gas at usually, well, I did start getting my gas up there on base too, but I sometimes get it at Lamont, and possibly a coffee, then go on to base, go to BX, grab lunch, go to commissary or the thrift shop, because I started going there too. Sometimes I'd eat at the bowling alley, not at the BX. Even sometimes I'd go to the NCO club and eat a buffet, or burger and sweet tea. But while I was out that day, they contacted my mother, knowing my mother was my main contact. I'll probably be 80 years old before this comes out right, or before it comes out at all, because I don't know, something about it. Anyhow, when I got home from the base, she had either called and I returned the call, or called again to say they said that they were going to hold that noon, the sentencing, at 4:30. Well, being 3 counties north of that, I was going to have to go to Buffalo from Sedalia, and it's 17 miles from where I am now, about 17 miles south, and that's after I get up to the highway. So, because I don't live right there on the country road, county road. So I looked at the clock, and it was after 2:30. And I just knew I wasn't going to have enough time to get there. It would be stupid to try, because being anxious and being in a kind of like a tailspin to get to something important, I decided I didn't have enough time to get there safely, so I didn't go. But when he was allowed to call me 13 days later, after I had my little breakdown and stuff, and every other thing, the verses about, although an enemy is encamped around me, blah, blah, I was doing the whole 9 yards, just hope beyond hope. He said that when he did call, that whole thing was over just around 9 o'clock. It was quick, by 9:15 he was being escorted to a car. But there they wanted me to come down at 2:30, or at 4:30, after I got the message at 2:30. For something that was going to occur. So I'm thinking I was being horribly set up, that I was out of the house at that time, for one. And maybe they had somebody or something waiting for me when I got there. You see what I'm saying? Maybe they would have accidented me on the road, too. Oops, car accident. She swerved off the road, these hills, Well, it doesn't really start to get really bad hilly. There's a couple good inclines before you get to Buffalo, but after Buffalo, got somewhat, and only one big curve that I can think of just outside, just north of Buffalo. It's wide, though. It's not a tight one. Or maybe they would have had someone there to arrest me for something. Who knows what their little deal was. I'm down on the, so come back on this